Hello again everyone, it is me Matsimus and thank you for joining me on today's military aviation video. I'd like to remind you that this video is pulled from public source and information and is only subjective to the opinions of myself only and is purely there for an informative / educational purpose. So today we are discussing one of the heavy three. Yes, the B-1, the B-2 and the B-52 are the US Air Force's main bomber aircraft, and it is about time we gave a little bit of love to the heaviest of these three hitters. The B-52, also called the Stratofortress, is the US long-range heavy bomber, and when I say heavy, she really is heavy. Now, this aircraft has been in service for a very long time. A lot of people are a little skeptical as to why she's still flying, and a lot of people are very proud to see her still flying. I'm on the definite basis of that I'm proud to see her still flying, and you know, for such an incapable aircraft, I really do feel that she's going to be in service for a lot longer. Now, I am going to discuss the aircraft's overall specifications and features, and then just do a little take on what I think about the aircraft itself. So, the B-52, also called the Stratofortress, is the US long-range heavy bomber designed by the Boeing Company in 1948. First flown in 1952 and first delivered for military service in 1955. Though originally intended to be an atomic bomb carrier capable of reaching the Soviet Union, it has proved adaptable to a number of missions, and dozens of B-52 remained in service to this day. Now, I remember as a child going to the International Air Tattoo in the UK, and I think it was Duxford Air Base, and we saw one of these things taking off on the runway, and it was absolutely incredible. It set off every single car alarm in the entire parking lot. Like, every single one went off when this thing took off. It was just beautiful to see such a massive aircraft defy physics and the laws of gravity and take off, and the amount of thrust and power that needs to get this thing in the sky is incredible. And just discussing its size, the B-52 has a wingspan of 185 feet, which is 56 meters, and a length of 160 feet or 49 meters. It is powered by 8 jet engines mounted under the wings in 2 4-twin pods. The plane's maximum speed at 55,000 feet or 17,000 meters is Mach 0.9, which is 595 miles per hour or 960 kilometers an hour. At only a few hundred feet above the ground, it can fly at Mach 0.5, which is 375 miles per hour or 600 kilometers an hour. It originally carried a crew of 6. Its sole defensive armament being a remotely controlled gun in the turret of the tail, which I didn't even know they had. In 1991, the gun, however, was eliminated and the crew was reduced to 5. Of course, during 1991, there was absolutely no requirement to have a tail gun on this aircraft because most technology would be able to shoot this thing out the sky way before you'd be tracing guns onto a target. Between 1952 and 1962, Boeing built 744 B-52s in a total of 8 versions, designated A through H. The B-52A was primarily a test version aircraft. The B-52's service history brought it through a multitude of different roles and missions that it had to take part of. The B-52B, that entered service with the United States Strategic Air Command, was used as a long-range nuclear bomber for the Cold War. Of course, the aircraft was also utilized during the Vietnam War to carpet bomb targets. The C through F versions had extended ranges and larger fuel capacity in the in-flight refueling equipment installed. They were adapted to carry tons of conventional bombs in their bomb bays and under pylons on the wings. Beginning in 1965, B-52Ds and Fs, flying from bases from Guam, Okinawa and in Thailand, carried out highly destructive bombing campaigns over North and South Vietnam. The B-52G, also used to attack North Vietnam, was given an even greater fuel capacity and was equipped to launch a number of air-to-surface and anti-ship missiles. The B-52H switched from a turbojet engine to a more efficient turbofan engine, and in the 1980s the G and H were equipped to carry air-launched cruise missiles with both nuclear and conventional warheads. However, the most effective campaign for this aircraft was during the Vietnam period, where it basically used massive amounts of munitions to carpet bomb large installations of enemy ground forces. There was no precision placed on these weapons, it was purely as much firepower on one designated area as possible, and as you can see, with devastating effect. In 1991, during the Persian Gulf War, the B-52Gs were flown from Diego Garcia in the Indian Ocean, but also as far away as the mainland United States to strike targets in Iraq. After 1994, the B-52H was the only version remaining in service. It has been used in the Bosnian conflict and the Kosovo conflict in the 1990s, and also during the Afghanistan war during the time of 2001 to 2014, and still to this day in air campaigns against Islamic State and in Iraq. It also remained as a key part of the air component of the nuclear triad, which is basically the nuclear deterrent that we have for the whole of NORAD and basically the world on the United States front. The huge airframe of the B-52 earned it the nickname Big Ugly Fat Fellow, which is B-U-F-F or buff. I'd rather call it the thick, because she is thick. Over the years, the bomber has frequently served as a mothership for air-launching experimental aircraft such as the X-15 and the X-43. The P-52H, with a weapons payload of more than 70,000 pounds, is still being used this day. It is capable of carrying the most diverse range of weapons of any combat aircraft. The nuclear weapons capability includes 12 AGM-129 Advanced Cruise Missiles, or ACMS, and 20 AGM-86 Alpha Air-Launched Cruise Missiles, or ALCM, with 8 bombs. And here we go for the conventional weapons payloads. This can carry 8 AGM-84 Harpoon missiles, 4 AGM-142 Raptor missiles, 51 500-pound bombs, 30 1,000-pound bombs, 20 AGM-86C conventional air-launched cruise missiles, or CALCMs, 12 joint standoff weapons, or JSOWs, 12 joint direct attack munitions, or JDAMs, and 16 wind-corrected munitions dispensers, or WCMDs. The WCMD was first deployed by the B-52 in 2002 in Afghanistan. JSOWs entered service in 2003 and were deployed during Operation Iraqi Freedom. In October 2006, Boeing announced the B-52 can carry 32 small diameter bombs, or SDBs, on the Common Strategic Rotary Launcher in the bomb bay. During Operation Iraqi Freedom in April 2003, a B-52 was fitted with the Northrop Grumman Lightning II laser targeting pod, which was used to strike targets in northern Iraq. In 2007, the United States Air Force began the Lightning to the B-52 fleet completely. The B-52 is fitted with the Lockheed Martin Sniper ATP Advanced Targeting Pod. So as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, a huge amount of firepower that this thing can drop. I mean, just look at the crane that they're using here. A 7,000 pound capacity crane just to lift this thing. That is a big piece of munitions there, and the ordnance that this thing can drop, I think, is a true testament as to why this aircraft still flies. It is capable of carrying a huge amount of ordnance, dropping it from a great distance, and getting out of there without ever really being detected. You know, I think the days of complete carpet bombing is kind of gone to the side a little bit now. We're looking for more, direct munitions, which is why you're seeing all these different packages and new technologies coming out for different types of ordnance that this aircraft can carry. It's not all about just dropping as much as quickly as possible. There's a lot more tactically bound derivatives that this kind of ordnance needs to follow, a strict guideline, so to speak. So it's nice to see that it's starting to bring in sort of the joint direct attack munitions, all that sort of stuff. JDAMs are actually the bombs that were launched in Afghanistan whilst I was in deployment. For such a large aircraft, she needs to be able to at least somehow protect herself. The B-52H is equipped with a wide range of electronic warfare equipment. The ITT-AN ALQ-172V2 electronic countermeasure system features a multi-band threat recognition and multiple threat jamming system. The AN/ALR-20 Alpha radar warning system detects and prioritizes multiple threats to the aircraft. The Northrop Grumman AN/ALR-46 digital warning receiver detects radar emissions in the 2 GHz to 18 GHz band and can actually simultaneously identify up to 16 radar signals. Now, this is nothing compared to, say, an AWACS, but it still gives it enough protection to keep an eye out of what's going on around it. It does have an AN/ALQ-155 jammer with a power management system that gives it 360-degree coverage in D, E, F, G, and H radar bands. She's also equipped with a multiple false target generator, a noise jammer, and a tail warning set with a pulsed Doppler threat warning system. It has 12 ANL-20 infrared flare dispensers and 8 launchers for the ANL-24 chaff dispensers fitted onto the side of the aircraft. Time to talk about these beautiful engines. The B-52 has 8 Pratt & Whitney TF33 P3 turbofan engines, each providing more than 17,000 pounds of thrust. The aircraft has 10 internal plus 2 external fuel tanks with a capacity of over 181,000 litres. It's just enough to fill up my truck, which given an unrefueled range of more than 8,600 miles. The operational range with one air refueling is 7,500 nautical miles. There has been increasing support for the upgrade programs coming out to this aircraft, including the re-engine of the B-52H. Boeing has received a contract to study the options, which include proposals for either 4 or 8 new engines. The new turbofan engines increase the unfueled range and provide the aircraft with the capability to strike a target located anywhere on Earth or from the continental US base with one single refueling. The performance of this aircraft is astonishing. The aircraft can climb at a rate of 31.85 meters a second. The new series models of this aircraft can fly at 1,000 kilometers an hour, and the aircraft can fly to a maximum height of 15,240 meters. It weighs a total of 83,250 kilograms, and the maximum takeoff weight is an astonishing 220,000 kilograms. As you can see, guys, she really is a heavy hitter when it comes to bombing for strategic command. I have a lot of respect for the United States Air Force keeping such a beautiful aircraft rolling and being able to do what she needs through the skies. She's almost gone from, the early stages of being just a carpet bomber to being technically a strategic bomber for almost any bombing mission you can think of. Nuclear strike capability, precision guided, reconnaissance even, experimental aircraft that need to be launched off it, huge amounts of payload. The roles and the specifics that this aircraft can perform is just incredible, and I think again that's another testament as to why she's still flying to this day. I think another big part of it is a lot of money has been placed into the program for the many years that it's been in service, and I just don't think they're quite ready to put her to bed yet, and to me that's a good thing. But I think overall this aircraft has quite a few years still in service, considering they wanted to upgrade the power plants for them. That says that they're probably going to put a lot more time into this airframe, and maybe we're going to see this aircraft flying for many, many more years. Folks, I hope you enjoyed today's video and learnt a little bit from it. I myself did. When I saw that aircraft take off as a young boy back in England, it was one of the most incredible sights to see. If you've ever been around one of these aircraft and seen them, then I'm sure you would agree. Let's hope you're never under the receiving end of the munitions that come out of this aircraft. I'm just kidding, but really though, the payloads of which this aircraft can drop is just incredible, and I wouldn't want to be on the receiving end of the ordnance that's coming out of this aircraft at any time, because we're talking about a lot of payload there and a lot of damage that can be placed onto the ground. So anyway, folks, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave me a like and a comment. If you did enjoy the video also and want to support my channel, go check out my Patreon account. It is in the description box below. Go check it out, and I appreciate every single one of you who have been donating to me so far. I also have a PayPal link there, so if you want to donate there, you may do so. And I hope you all have a wonderful day. Take care. Bye-bye.